Good evening. This is Wilbert Cook from A Hand Up, and I'm back with you. And I just realized there's some information I want to share with you. There's a lot of events going on in the next few weeks all over these neighborhoods out west and across the city. There was a great Woodline event at St. Ignatius High School Prep Banquet Hall a few days ago for Woodline Foundation. There's also a Teamwork Inglewood event that was last week, and there's some more Teamwork Inglewood and collaborative efforts going on out there. But on the Greater West Side, we've had several feature events. We had a tribute to married couples at Carriage Centenary last week. They had a book giveaway at Greater St. Paul on Cermak and Keeler last weekend. And there's more stuff coming, and I'm gonna try to pull up some of that stuff right fast. Since I was reminded by the guest that was so overwhelmed by all the work. I literally mean all the work that was done. Okay, August 15th at 12 p.m., 1300 South Kedzie at the B.T. Little Community Center. There's a back-to-school event. My main man, Dylan D. Jeffries, is the director of their youth and community services, and they part of the Greater Open Door Church, Baptist Church, over there on 13th and Sawyer. Great community center, great events, great people. They work with us quite a bit over the years. Then we have some things going on with Alderman Scott. She has some events, and Black Men United are all over the Midwest, all over the country. They were in Atlanta a couple weeks ago doing the event. Their center should be open in a few months over there on Roosevelt and Costner, their home office for the North Lawndale West Side community. So it's a lot of good things going on. Try to pull you up somewhere. In the summer celebration, August 13th, Douglas Park. Community talent is wanted. This is for the 24th Alderwoman, Monique Scott. First prize. Riot Fest is sponsoring this big community event. Matter of fact, some Riot Fest opportunities are out there for employment, things of that nature. Tickets if you're in a selected area of the 24th Ward. People are wondering why not the entire 24th Ward, but things happen, unfortunately. I won't get into that debate. Oh, the night out, the great night out, August 4th. That's tomorrow evening, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. The 10th District is at 3315 West Ogden Avenue. That's what's sponsored. 10th District Police Department and all their community service wings and the different beats in that area of the 10th District. And they come together for one great night. Fun, food, pleasure, singers, very little speaking. They do a little bit, but they keep that to a minimum. They try to make it a fun night out, a night people can enjoy and fellowship with each other. But the 11th District is doing theirs on Roosevelt Road. 11th District going to shut off the street from Roosevelt and Holman roughly to Roosevelt and Central Park. In that 2-block area, they have some of everybody from the community coming out and camping out with the 11th District for their event. Their event is from that same time, 4 to 8 p.m. If the 11th District is anything like last year, so parking is selected on the side streets and further down on Roosevelt Road. So have good walking shoes, but it is a great event. They have quite a few community partners that come out. Music, beverages, food, and games. All right, and that's your 11th District Caps that help sponsor this great community event. And as I say, 34 to 3500 West Roosevelt Road. But for security purposes, they're going to shut off the previous street too, because they don't want too much extra potential drama. And it's just a feature. Sometimes you got to take a little more space than you need to for trucks, other things to not be in the way of the event space. Okay, there's a lot of great activity going on. There are community development updates in the community. You still have your various restaurants that's there. You got a new business district coming on Pope. You got our Dunkin' Donuts. You got the Lawndale Christian Development. Got some new housing ready on Harding and 19th Street. You got the Justice Center over there in the 1400 block of Keeler. Grace Manor, if there's any more vacancies up there on Ogden and Holman and across from the police station. Matter of fact, it used to be an additional lot for the police station. Now it's loaded with 60 units of housing, affordable housing. And there are several other restaurants being developed in community space in the 24th Ward. The 28th Ward, man, they really not advertising as much, but if you only knew, the 28th Ward has about 7 projects that's on the board. The biggest one is by Bishop Pastor Edie over at the Church of the Harvest, the People's Church of the Harvest. They've had about 50 units or more of housing they developed about 3 years ago. Now, over the next 2 years, they have another 60 units approximately of housing coming up next to that. And they have a big food court coming with African-American featured restaurants. And if anybody know about the Soul Food Lounge, they say they're going to have an expanded presence in that new food court, which will be at 5th and Holman Avenue in about 18 months to 2 years from today's date. And then after that, they're going to have about 18 townhouses coming up in that same area across the street. So they are ready to experience one heck of a economic boom for the community, and plenty of affordable housing and some affordable homes, townhomes for people who want to live in the neighborhood, move into the neighborhood, or just stay in the neighborhood and get out of an apartment to their own home. And so that'll be right there in their neck of the woods. We got Congressman Davis, Columbus Park. His big picnic is going to be on the 15th. And it's going to run the parade, 10 o'clock kickoff at Bloomingdale and Central. And then it comes all the way down to Madison, hangs a left, go all the way over to Laramie, hang a right back to Jackson, then another right all the way up into Columbus Park at Central. And then there they have about 40, 50, 60 vendors. And there they're known to give away 3,000 to 4,000 book bags to ski kids all over the community that show up that day, and primarily from the Austin community that still has a great many housing developments, multi-unit housing for affordable housing, probably the biggest stock of all the communities on the west side. That still, most of our stock in the Lawndale got torn down over the last 45, 50 years. They finally starting to rebuild it. Many of Garfield's were torn down. However, Austin has been able to preserve most of their housing stock, affordable housing, 15, 20, 30 unit buildings, and they've rehabbed them 2 or 3 times, but they're still housing people for the most part. And that's great considering how many apartments were lost in the other 2 areas of the greater west side, Lawndale and East-West Garfield, actually really 3 communities now. But when I was younger, Garfield was Garfield, the whole east and west. Now it's east and west specifically, as they chop up our communities for various reasons we'll talk about at another time. So there's quite a bit. In the 28th Ward, the other things are planned. Well, they already have a state-of-the-art $50 million multi-purpose collaborative health center. They have Rush Clinic in there. They have Erie Clinic for a lot of mental health, emotional health They have various community wellness groups in there. West Garfield Health and Wellness, I believe is the name of it. They got a West Garfield collaboration project in there. They have a state-of-the-art YMCA in there, where you got the most current fitness equipment, the most current barbells that's out, the most eco-centered, healthy barbells constructed better for you to use. They have trainers available, most of them for free currently. Get them while they're free. It's only, I believe, $15 a month. And I believe kids under 24, young people under 24, under 21, the city still has a free program. That's right at Kilpatrick and Madison. So be there or be square. So there's a lot going on. They also have a business hub plan for the old Firestone site over at Costner and Madison. They have the extension that soon will be open to the West Side, Malcolm X West Side branch over there by Kilbourne, I believe, in Madison. They have a new development planned that should be groundbreaking in the next few months at Independence and Madison. They're going to take the whole block from Independence, known as Hamlin to many of us on that end, on the south end of that strip. But that end up there is Independence and Hamlin. The Hamlin side, they're going to do about 60 to 100 units of affordable housing. It's going to be a mixed-use development. They're going to have some condominiums. They're going to have some nice apartments, 3, 4, 2 bedrooms. They're going to have some studios. They're going to have some, common area space. They're going to have at least 1 or 2 restaurant features. And then near Springfield, where we've gotten all of that bad food, well, we've gotten food that was substandard in many cases. And we've gotten a lot of junk food that's not healthy for us. They're going to bring a grocery store back to that corner. So keep your eyes open the next 2 or 3 years. West Garfield is coming with it, and they have developments all over the place. There are other people, including us, looking to try to get in on the development over there. And other people that we don't even know are looking to develop. And there are people buying homes and renovating homes on almost every block of West Garfield, North Lawndale. But those 2 aldermen want more and more community members to come seek the shop block lots, to seek land bank lots, and let us build in the community we grew up in. Let us get our dream house built in the community we used to live in that was full of great housing. And let's get back to letting the kids have a little fun on the block every day and not just occasionally. And let's not have to shut the whole block down in order to let our kids play, but get back to good, wholesome communal living. So that's one way. A Hand Up really has transitioned from just being an organization that helps people recover from alcoholism and substance abuse, but we want to help lift the community in every way we can. Lift them with not just temporary housing, but now more permanent housing, to lift them in their mental health, to lift them in their emotional health, whether they have a substance abuse issue or not. We got to constantly deal with the continued and expanded addiction to what is now legalized marijuana. There was a lot of addiction going when it was illegal. Now that it's legal, you got more people starting to spend much and much more of the family finances on marijuana instead of taking care of the family better. So we're going to have to deal with that issue more and more. It will have been built into legislation, thankfully, with the fight of a lot of West Side officials and South Side African-American officials. There's built in some money to go toward what they call R3 funding, and that's money being set aside out of the legalized marijuana profit. However, we got to get them to revisit the medical marijuana group, and we need a portion of that to go to helping people who were formerly incarcerated and got extended sentences because of our three-tier unjust justice system. And let's right some of them wrongs. But also, who better to help sell marijuana than people who actually got incarcerated for it when it was illegal? So now it's legal. I think they're the greatest and most well-trained workforce. And they also got the discipline that comes with being incarcerated now. So let's give them an opportunity to have a great chance to make good money doing the right thing with marijuana now that it's legalized, and put our African-American brothers and some of our sisters that were also given those extreme sentences the opportunity to work in the field that has been so cruel in some ways via the unjust justice system. So we're trying to lift up the community in every avenue we can. So it's quite a bit going on. August is a loaded month. I'm trying to pull up a few more community events because I know State Rep Mario Omar Williams has to have a few things going. I know when I was last with him in June, he had a big men's health fair that was well attended by many. And I know he said he want to continue to do things. And he normally has a great big parade. So we're going to try to get his information up right fast. And let's move to all right, well, State Rep Camille Lilly came up first. So she got a Beef Up the Block event Saturday, August the 8th, 2026, 12:30 to 3 p.m. That event is, we're trying to get you the exact address of this event. That event does not want to come up so easily. So we'll move right along. There's some events coming up. Commissioner Scott tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Information on the land bank. You can you can register through an app, and they're gonna have the event as out south in the Inglewood area, 6301 South Halstead Street, and that's Kennedy King. I was thinking of that. It said the Great Hall at Kennedy King. So if you want to be there in person, you can meet them there. They even say they're going to have a nice, great opening. They're going to open the doors at 8 o'clock and have more like a little, some kind of breakfast. They do have a culinary school. Some of the trades and skills that used to be taught at Washburn Trade Center, actually a lot of those are being taught as well as other academic courses at Kennedy King now, and they've been known to do some great culinary work, which is cooking for those who don't like the big word. You know, the new big word for cooking, even among people that do not cook a lot. But that's the new term. Uh-oh, we missed that grand opening, but there's a new daycare center, 3606 West 16th Street on the Greater West Side. And that's the old clinic for many of y'all like, well, where is that? The old health clinic that's been scuttered and shuttered, as they say, for the last almost 15 years or so, as reopened as a state-of-the-art child care center. Get on over there. And a local guy, Martez Greer, who also has a cafe plan for Roosevelt and Holman, and who has a great Airbnb on the upper level that is fit for kings and queens from all over the country, even some people from out of the country. But it's right in our community. But he helped renovate. He renovated this space. Him and several other African-American young men from the community came together. I don't know the other guy's full name, but I know one I remember is Trey. I'm not sure the third partner's name. Anthony Kirkland, it looked like. Well, this is probably his promotion site. They put the advertisement up. Oh, Franklin Park has some events coming up, and that's 4320 West 15th Street, our local park. Give them a call and see when their next set of activities are coming. There gonna be some for this summer. Also, let me get back to Omar's site. All right. Oh, yeah, I mentioned a week ago this great group we have. It's never too late to get more fit, but we have one of the greatest fitness teams in America right now in our area on the west side. They practice almost every Saturday, I believe, and some weekdays. Actually, they do walking and running, but they become famous for running marathons and half marathons all over the country. And a few have been overseas to other foreign countries. And they are making waves everywhere, being more fit. Then they got a walking team that's doing dozens of 5K walks throughout the summer. But you can start wherever you can, 1 block, 2 blocks, 5 blocks, a mile, and work your way up to 5Ks are 3.1 miles. And they're a great way to stay in shape, get in shape, and to be healthier throughout the rest of your life. So consider that. And they are the Peace Runners 773 Club. Peace Runners 773 Club. And apologize if I may have messed the name up a little bit, but I want to give a great shout out to that wonderful health group in our area of runners and walkers. But the most famous are our runners, people who grew up on the west side and the near west side, coming together and have become some of the premier marathon runners. 51 people entered the marathon race last time. So that is great. Okay, and we're getting a lot of information out tonight. And I want you all to continue to do that. And there are a lot of events going on. There are a lot of church events going on. Oh, my guy over there on 16th Street, Boxing Out Negativity, have opened up their new space on Roosevelt Road. And he's been working at this for over almost 20 years now. And he's finally gotten a stable home space, a state-of-the-art brand new space to expand from boxing to a lot of other academic and job readiness services. So hope it continues to grow, expand. And this guy, they've used his name the last 5 or 6 years in a lot of events and let him spearhead it in name, but finally he has a facility. Almost every group that's been tied to him has had a home, regular home for the last 20 years, and he's finally going to get the stable housing for his boxers that he deserved years ago. So shout out to Derek Brown over at Boxing Out Negativity, and my guys in West Garfield, East Garfield have another boxing group out of Garfield Park, and so it's people who've grown off of his movement and set up alternative movements on the west side and even other communities outside of Chicago. So that is really taking off, using boxing as also a vehicle to learning discipline, but also starting to get more geared toward academic development alongside those boxing skills. And actually one Golden Glove champ at least is now started his boxing career at Boxing Out Negativity, and he's over there still training as for another opportunity to move up in the boxing world, but also to help the other younger kids that's coming up younger than him in their early teens, preteens, learn how to box to improve their life. So things are really getting great on the west side. And so we're looking to have other housing specialists come through. Congressional candidate, soon to be Congressman LaShawn Ford is agreed to come on to the show at sometime in the near future when we can get his schedule synchronized with this Monday evening show. Congressman Danny K. Davis, before he leaves, is planning to be on this show at least once, possibly more. We featured his religious affairs liaison, Dr. Jakes, who's gotten married recently, and we featured his youth services director, Willie Burton. So we have had some real good people stop by, and we're looking to get each one of the state reps from the west side here in the near future. Also, the city treasurer, Melissa Conyers-Urban, and we also plan to get Alderman Urban here at some point in the future. Commissioner Scott, Commissioner Tara, we're working to build a better relationship with her in the first district. Commissioner Tara Stamps. We have a good relationship with Commissioner Scott. We're doing another project with another CAN TV video guru, and that's coming soon. And we may be featuring some snippets in the near future and bringing some of them guests back. Some of them have been on before. So we'll be bringing back Carter Trost when she's able to make it, and Dwayne Trost, who was a Chicago Public School Board member under Lori Lightfoot. And so we're going to even try to get, we're going to try to get Kimberly Lightfoot, who is our top official in the Senate. She is the head of the Senate currently, sitting right up under, the House man, Chris Welch, get all the pub, but our girl Kimberly Lightfoot is sitting right up under Don Harmon in the Senate. And so we have some great leadership from the west side over there. So I'll have to get Camille Lilly here too at some point. So the next few weeks, as well as going into the end of the year, should be loaded with influential people with plenty of information on all the positive things going on the west side, all the programs they've helped funded, all the programs they're going to get funded, how they've used the state budget to fill gaps that have been hindered in the federal government by some unfortunate circumstances. I won't get into blaming, because if we keep blaming Trump, we have to accept responsibility that our local officials did a lot of messing up long before Trump got in office either time, because the west side been barren and getting more barren for almost 40 consecutive years. So we're building it up now. We're building it up on each and every side, as they say, every leaning side in the spiritual world. It's been a plum-pleasing pleasure to be with you, sharing information about the uplift, and a hand up to all those great officials and community groups across the west side. And one of my favorite, HSI, headed by the great Donald Dew.